Hi. Many of us have grown up hearing that the other side of the moon is completely dark, or that the pole star was, is, and will remain exactly in the true north forever without moving. But none of these statements are true. So join me in this episode as I dive into some crazy astronomy myths that we all thought were true, and I'll try to debunk them one by one for you. Let's begin. Myth number one. The North Star, also known as Polaris, is the brightest star in the night sky. The Earth's North Pole always points in the direction of the North Star. Okay, so that is actually two myths rolled into one. We know that the Earth is tilted at an angle of 23.5 degrees and that the north of this axis of rotation points at the star Polaris, also known as the North Star. But this scenario will change over a period of a few thousand years. Along with the Earth's rotation and revolution, the Earth's axis makes another motion called precession, just like a top just before it comes to rest. This precession takes around 26,000 years to finish, and at the end of it, the Earth's axis will point in a direction other than the present one. This implies that Polaris will not always be our North Star. Check out our previous video on the Moon for a detailed discussion on this effect. Secondly, while it is a common myth that Polaris is the brightest star in the night sky, the title actually belongs to Sirius, also known as the Dog Star. Located in the constellation of Canis Major, Sirius is visible from both the hemispheres. But remember that if we don't limit ourselves to the night sky alone, the brightest star in our sky is our Sun. Myth number two. There are infinite number of stars in the night sky. On a typical moonless night from a dark side, it is possible to see up to 3,500 stars with naked eyes. In total, we can only see about 7,000 stars with our eyes out of millions of stars in our galaxy. As we have discussed in one of our earlier videos, only stars in the magnitude range of 1 to 6 can be seen with naked eyes. For all others which are fainter than magnitude 6, we need help of instruments such as telescopes. Learn more about the magnitude system in our previous video in case you haven't done so already. Myth number 3. Earth is closest to the Sun in summers. Now, it is a popular myth that seasons on Earth are caused due to its proximity to the Sun. Although it is true that the Earth's orbit around the Sun is not perfectly circular and varies slightly at different times of the year, that does not cause seasons. In fact, during peak summers in the northern hemisphere in the month of July, Earth is actually farthest away from the Sun, and in early January at the peak of winters, it is closest to it. So seasons are not caused due to a change in the distance between Earth and the Sun. Seasons actually occur due to the Earth's tilt on its axis. During summer, say in the northern hemisphere, it is tilted towards the Sun, while the southern hemisphere is tilted away from it. And vice versa happens in the winters, causing different seasons during different times of the year. Myth number 4. Sun spends around a month in each of the 12 zodiacal constellations. Presently, 88 constellations are officially recognized by the International Astronomical Union. Of these, 12 were found to lie on the ecliptic, that is, the path which appears to be traced by the Sun in the sky over the course of a year. It is a common myth that the Sun spends around a month in each of these 12 constellations. However, this is not true. The constellations have different sizes in the sky, because of which the Sun spends different amounts of time in each of them. For instance, the constellation of Virgo is so wide that it takes Sun 46 days to move through it. And when the Sun enters the smaller constellation of Scorpio, it spends only about 11 days here and then moves into Ophiuchus, which it covers in a period of 18 days. By the way, have you heard about the constellation of Ophiuchus? Tell me in the comment section below. The constellation of Ophiuchus is actually the 13th constellation on the zodiacal belt. It went unnoticed earlier due to its faint stars. But now, the British Astronomical Society does recognize it as the 13th zodiacal constellation. But globally, most people continue to acknowledge the 12 previously known zodiacal constellations for their historic legacy and ease of application since the annual calendar has 12 months. Myth number 5. Black holes can suck in everything, just like giant cosmic vacuum cleaners. Black holes have a lot of gravity. They are massive objects with a lot of mass concentrated into a small volume. Basically, imagine the mass of millions of suns concentrated in a point, formerly known as a singularity. And as we know, mass means gravity, and gravity always attracts. But despite this fact, remember that whether we are talking about a stellar black hole, which is a few hundred times the mass of the Sun, or a galactic black hole several million solar masses big and believed to be present at the center of all large galaxies, black holes only have a localized effect on the surrounding material. Their impact, just like the attractive force of a magnet, is felt within a particular region surrounding them and not at very large distances from them. In case of a black hole, this region of influence is called its event horizon. Remember this image of a black hole detected in our neighboring galaxy M87? The central black region is the size of the event horizon. The actual black hole would be at least 3 times smaller than this. I hope I was able to bust some of the myths for you today and you learned something new. Do let me know which of these myths you thought were true until now, and if you enjoy watching our videos, do like and share them with other astronomy enthusiasts. Let me know what else would you like us to cover on this channel. I'll see you next week. Until then, take care.